Hello again, everybody. Today we're going to go beyond having the right F&I process and the 12 great ways to implement continuous training in your dealership so you can make up an additional 30% in F&I. My name is Al Salas. I'm with F&I Direct. As you know, I want to thank you again for tuning in, and let's just get right to it. Today, the first one is going to be setting performance expectations. See, we all know that we have we talk about KPIs, key performance indexes, metrics all the time. We have metrics for our sales department. How many ups did we have? What's our closing percentage? And a lot of times what we find at dealerships is a fly-by-night approach when it comes to F&I. You know, we get what we can, and that's what it is. It is what it is, and we're gonna get chargebacks, and at the end of the month, we're gonna be happy with whatever we can get. Well, what we find is that when you don't set those proper expectations for the performance and profitability of the dealership as well as your F&I department, we find dealerships falling short. So one of the things that you can do immediately to increase your performance by 30% or more is start setting those expectations and holding people accountable to them. The second thing is actually tied to that first one, and that's actually communicating the performance expectations with your team. And that I mean throughout the month. I don't necessarily mean, you know, what we see a lot of times is like, oh yeah, we talked about it. I mean, last quarter, and we haven't really talked about it since. Well, what you don't measure, I mean, what you don't track, you can't achieve. And really, we talk about it all the time, but it's more importantly to communicate those expectations of performance with the team on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis. So set those expectations in the beginning and track them through the continuing of the month. The third thing would be actually to train and empower your F&I managers to train salespeople on the F&I process that you have at your store. Now, why I say that is important is because that actually integrates and gets buy-in from the salespeople and your manager, other managers at the store in regards to the F&I office. Also bringing them into the value that we're providing to the customers, as well as bringing them in the whole perspective of the operation actually of the dealership as a whole. So that's very important. Number 4 is to give one-on-one time to your people. Now, that when I say people is your F&I managers. It's important that you give them that one-on-one time and that they are actually looking forward to seeing you and being able to work those details out that they might be struggling with that you might not necessarily know about it. And guys, I know you're busy, and so is everybody, but to give 5-10 minutes of your time to somebody that is generating you a lot of profits or has the potential of generating a lot of profit for your dealership, it is important. Number 5 is tracking your F&I performance. This one, I can't believe I have to put this one on the video, but I do. I mean, we see day in and day out dealerships that have no idea where their F&I performance is, and is going to be in the present, past, and future. And really, it's insane. I mean, the reality that you need to track what you are doing and what you've done is extremely important. So if you're not doing that, that's something that you need to change 24 hours ago. Is that important? Number 6 is to train even your highest performers. This is one of the biggest mistakes that we see dealerships make, is that when they see somebody that's performing, you know, maybe they're doing 13, 14, 1,500 bucks a car, and you're like, oh, they're doing a good job. They might not necessarily need training as somebody that's newer or has a less performance. And we a lot of times neglect that person. Well, it's the reason why the NADA shows that the F&I office or the business manager position is actually the 3rd largest turnover position in your dealership. And one of the reasons why is because it gets stale. People get bored easily, and especially high performers don't necessarily get the opportunity to contribute, feel important in the organization, but most importantly, be able to expand their careers and be able to contribute more to the dealership and the team as a whole. Number 7 would be to encourage your participation of the business managers in the office in your meetings. Bring them in the meetings, help them share different success stories, struggles, different problems that they might be going through with paperwork and the dealership as it's coming in. But most importantly, I mean, it's not a complaint session. It's more of an awareness where we're working together as a team. And a lot of times, business managers have the fame of being prima donnas. It doesn't have to be like that. You have people that want to do the job, want to do it well, want to do it ethically, and want to definitely be integrated into the organization more. And if you have people that don't, well, you got to make some changes. Because in this day and age, if you don't have a team player in your team, then it doesn't work. There is too many moving parts, customers are too educated, and the whole front and back need to work together in order to make not only the deal profitable, but also the transaction smooth and efficient. Number 8 is to promote continuous learning in your dealership. It ties a little bit what we've talked about already, so I won't spend too much time on it, but really we need to promote that continuous learning environment at our dealerships day in and day out. It's not enough to just go to the trainings that were provided by, you know, the ownership, or whether it's a manufacturer or whatever the case may be. We need to be seeking out additional training, additional knowledge, so that we can become better at what we're doing every single day. And number 9 is to invest in your top employees as well. In all of your employees, really, set a percentage of money, of what they have as an income. And whether you want to set that as 3, 5, 10%, it's up to you. But you can use that percentage of money to train and send them to get additional skills that you might need under your dealership. And you might not necessarily know how exactly that's going to play out in the position that they're currently in. But again, these are assets that you're adding to the dealership throughout and the whole organization. Number 10 is that we have to consistently analyze our staff and see where they're at. Actually, a great friend of mine talks about 4 different areas that we judge our employees, and I'll give you 2 in this video because it's getting a little extended. But we want to track them on their performance, obviously, but also in how they're fit for our culture and the dealership. So performance and fit is something that's very important to talk about day in and day out. Number 11 is that we want to make a strategic plan involving our entire department, whether that be, that includes sales, that includes service, that includes F&I. And most importantly, number 12, the best way that you can impact your dealership's bottom line in F&I is by scheduling a phone call with us at F&I Direct. We have, as you know, a goal of helping 1,000 dealerships generate at least 30% more profits in F&I, and we won't stop and we won't rest until we accomplish that. And we need your help to accomplish that, but most importantly, we want to help you. We want to be of value and be able to bring all of our expertise and all of our knowledge on how we can help your dealership generate at least 30% more profit in F&I this month. Thank you again for tuning in. I'm your host, Al Salas, and I'll see you in the next video.